Hello guys and welcome back to GT Retro World. Here's those two Andes that I said I'd dug up last week. This here is the first one, the Convoy. I mean, this thing, I will say, was absolutely bloody useless. And I'll tell you why it was useless. The scenario, think about it. You've got two channels, 14 and 30. 14 for a copy. Yes, you've got your copy. Go to channel 15 or 16. No, can't do that. I've only got 30. That's how much use that was. I mean, for around the streets it was fine, I suppose. If your mate had the same one, it was great, but none of my mates had the same one, so obviously it was a bit of a waste of time. Anyway, it's the Harvard from Harris Overseas Limited, which did both of these two. I want to get to in a minute anyway. I think it did two. Let's have a look on here. Yeah, 200 milliwatts it did, so obviously it was bare bones thing, you know, not a lot of power. I mean, it was actually a CB 2781 legal set that, but did you actually legally have to be licensed to use that much power? You tell me. Two channels and you still have to pay that license fee. No idea. But anyway, let's get back to the drawing board. Right, it's the Harvard 2-channel walkie-talkie, and it's the 10-4 Good Buddy or the H7. 3-stage crystal. I think I've said there it's 200 milliwatts. It draws 180 milliamps, which today I've got a battery. Now this has not been used in 30 odd years, maybe 40. Yeah, I want to say 40 thereabouts, that, you know, around about that type of thing. I found it in a loft under the what was it again? The 201, which is behind me somewhere. The science fair from Tandy, the electronics kit. And like I say, I found the pair of these, but I'll go to this 10-4 Convoy first, because this was the one that was pretty much useless. I can't even remember buying it, to be honest. I don't know whether I got this given as a gift or bought it myself or what, but I do remember it being useless. That's the only thing I do remember. But it's in fairly good condition. Obviously it's still boxed, because it was just, as I say, useless to me. Like, I mean, maybe some kids got some great fun out of these things, but not me. No. But anyway, I got a squelch on and off. You had channel 40 and channel 30. You got your volume, and you've got a battery check. I can't even remember how the hell that worked, to be honest, but we're going to try in a minute. Let's see if it works. Let's check the antenna to see if that's in good condition. And yeah, it's got a little bend, a little kink at the top there. Look, see. I'll try and straighten it out later. But what we're going to do, I'm going to whip the back off this. I've got a battery. I'm going to break this out and try it there. It's probably the best battery this has ever had in it. Duracell there. Is this switched on? Oh, it was switched on. I heard a little noise like, so that sounds hopeful. I don't know why I'm putting that up. I'm not going to get no around here, am I? Well, that's doing nothing. Actually, it would help to switch it on, wouldn't it? Oh, that's squelch on and off. I did hear something there, so let's just check this battery terminals, because there might be... hang on. I did hear something there for a second. Well, they are a bit pitted, them, like... Yeah, the terminals are a bit gummy. Anyway, let's have a little... Sounds like it's on air, doesn't it? Ooh. Oh, there we go. Hello. I wonder if the capacitors are just firing themselves up after all these years. Oh, well, the battery check indicator works fine. Sort of. Squelch control works. I presume it's TXing. Let's have a look. Like I say, I'm having to use the HF set just for RX at the moment until I get some decent equipment in here. To be honest, I'm actually in the middle of making a better area for doing this type of thing. I'm probably going to use the loft space because it's about 30 foot. It is really big. There's a lot of work to do up there to get it right. And if I'm going to get back into radios and various retro and 80s bits and bobs and 90s and 70s or whatever, I may as well sort it out. But yeah, let me just give this a go. And there we are, 14, new enough. 1, 2, hello, hello. Oh, can you hear that? Just whack that squelch up on that. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like capacitors maybe going to want changing on that, to be honest, so maybe there's a bit of a alignment along the way. Yeah, a bit of switch cleaner on there. Hello, 1, 2. Oh, that sounds a bit over deviating, doesn't it? Whoa! Anyway, it works within reason, eh? I'll probably strip that down eventually and give it a good clean up. And just put it on the shelf there as a bit of a, I don't know, whatever anyway. But it's boxed, obviously, for the reasons I've just told you. 2 channels. I mean, 200 milliwatts, you're talking just at the end of the street, aren't you, type of thing. It's so vague, this thing. I just can't even remember doing anything much with it. It's got no good memories, you know what I mean? It's got nothing fancy about it at all. But anyway, I'll give you a quick showdown on it. I mean, it's in tidy condition. It is tidy indeed, to be honest. You know, it's just been sat in the loft for that long and moved from property to property. Yeah, that's that anyway. And that's the manual with it. Right, on to the next one. Seeing as how that sort of works. Now this was a find and a half, this thing. Now this, I used to love this thing. Even though I never really I use it a lot, but I use it as much as I could afford to, put it that way. Because the damn batteries were that bloody expensive. And when you're a kid, it's just a nightmare, isn't it? You know, you just use what you could. But this here, finding this is like an old relic. I bought this myself from Dixon's. I'll never forget it. You know, and I actually got this repaired once because it packed in. I have no idea what the fault was now, but it did pack in anyway. And over the years, like maybe 14, 15-year-old when I got this, you start going into things, don't you, messing about and being stupid. And this is exactly how I found it. Still have its back off look. I mean, I can see I've been farting about in here, look. You know what I mean? The antenna's cables are off the top of there. I should say that mini coax, whatever it is. It's tiny, thin coax cable. And I've definitely had a twiddle in here, look. Can you see? Oh yeah, I've had a twiddle, all right. Right. Anyway, I thought to myself, does this still work? Because last time I had this out, it did work, I think. And again, I don't know. It must be mid-80s, thereabouts, 80, 86-ish type of thing when I'd put it to one side and never looked at it again up until recently. I'm talking about a matter of a week or so. So I thought, right, I'll dig a little power supply out. Now this power supply hasn't got enough amps at all to run this thing, but it will power it up. And so that's what I did. I tried it, and lo and behold, did you see that spark then as well there? The dampening works, I think. Antenna's absolutely straight as a die on this. That's one thing I did look after the antenna. squelch sort of works. Maxed out there, like. But yeah, anyway, this is the Harvard 410T. Very popular back in the 80s. I mean, you stand on like a bridge, wouldn't you, with this and just have a prat about with it and be silly, really. But, as I say, I was only young and batteries were expensive. I say expensive, they weren't that expensive. It was just the fact that you wanted to do other things with your money. So this like went to one side, and when you had to set them in the house, that's what you did, didn't you? But anyway, as you can see, it's TXing within reason. Again, this is going to want recapping and realigning. I had this when I didn't even know what realigning was, or alignment, or anything to do with electronics, to be honest. Where's that buzz coming from? It's actually this. So it's actually buzzing. It wasn't buzzing earlier on, like, but it is now. But it's TXing. There's no TX light on, or is that the call? Yeah, that's not working. But it's transmitting. Oh, it's showing transmit anyway. If you have it, I'll just put that down a little bit. Not too well, because I'm going to end up frying the damn thing. Not that it'll make a difference to it. You see the meter? But yeah, I mean, look at the state of it. Like I say, the extension part of the antenna's not connected. I don't know why that's pulled off there. You're a naughty boy, Neil, that's for sure. But I was a kid. And you tell me anyone in their teens who had CB radios didn't pull lids off of them and started twiddling is a liar. Because that's how you learned back then. But yeah, I mean, anyone who knows me might remember this actually. Because I genuinely thought this had gone absolutely years ago, but I have been a bit of a hoarder most of my life. To the point where I've bought things and put them, had them years and put them to one side and just left them in like tea chests and forgot about them really up until the past couple of months. I've been digging a lot out, and this was a bit of a surprise finding this old Harvard, to be honest. I mean, it did come in a nice little leather pouch. I'm going to recap this again with the rest of the crap that I'm messing about with. But until I find the right equipment, I've been looking at signal generators, you know, and how much are them damn things for a good one, you know? I mean, you could be looking somewhere near £1,000, and I'm not paying that. No chance, not for CB, no way, you know. But anyway, we'll get there eventually. But yeah, I want to get this going. What I want to do, I want to go up to the highest point I can find, which is not that far from me, to be honest. And I want to give it a go, see how we get on with this. But yeah, I'll recap it first, and I'll give it a realignment. I've never worked on one of these in my life, to be honest, but there's no to it, is there? Jesus Christ, there's nothing in there anyway, so there's nothing really much to go wrong. Looking at that when I was a kid, it must have been a nightmare. I'm surprised I didn't do any more damage, but I've noticed one of the cores there's damaged, like at the. So I've either been trying to get as much power out of it as possible. Not that you could get much out of these anyway. But yeah, it's. I'll recap it because there's a bit of a buzz going on there, and we'll try and get it up and running. But yeah, it was just another one for the weekend, and I said I'd get these out because I only stumbled across these, like I say, when I found that Science Fair 201 electronics kit, and I thought, geez, it's just like unbelievable the amount of crap I'm finding lately. That's it's quite shocking, really, and it brings back other memories, you know, like strange memories and stuff. There's a place called the Curly Whirly Bridge up near us. You just sit on there with that. It was great, you know, until the batteries went dead, and that was it. You were knackered for another week or two, you know what I mean? Simple as that, unless you could scrounge some batteries off someone. These peanuts are nice, by the way, from Marx's. The only thing is with them, I'm actually slightly allergic to peanuts, but I still eat them. But what I'll have to do is put them in a little bag for me, look, see. Bit off topic, but shouldn't be eating them, really. We just got to have them. Oh yeah, they are nice, them, though. Especially with a nice cup of tea. But anyway, guys, that's about it, really. Most people who will be watching this know what these are anyway, or whatever. And I'll drag them out at some point once we get sorted out. In fact, well, I'm looking forward to getting everything on the bench and getting sorted out and having a twiddle with them, you know. I might even do a bit a bit of repairing like on camera. I don't know, we'll see how it goes anyway. But that's about it really. It was just one for the weekend, and hopefully you guys will have a great weekend. I know I'm going to have a good weekend. Like, I've got a bit of video to do over this weekend for runners and cyclists, to be honest. So that's going to be a bit of fun. And you'll probably see that on the other channel if you're interested. It's Neil's Adventure Chronicles. That's my other channel I've just started messing about with for my running and sports and stuff. You know, I'm a busy lad these days, me, actually. Too busy for my own good. But yeah, anyway guys, on that note, thumbs up wouldn't go amiss, and a subscription will help the channel a lot, like I say. And the next couple of weeks I'm going to do a little competition like I was on about on the last vlog with a little CB radio. I've got a couple of the same one, they're all new multi-norms, so you know, I'll get you up in there if that's what you want to do. And yeah, anyway guys, thanks for viewing, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now.